and we should be good to go in a few seconds. A very warm welcome to all the healthcare leaders, investors, and innovation experts joining us today to witness breakthrough solutions that aim to make healthcare affordable, accessible, and efficient for billions worldwide. This is Pankaj Gupta from EthAum's Partners. We are a deep tech revenue scaler headquartered in Singapore with approximately 120 startups in our portfolio. Today, you are going to witness some transformative startups disrupting critical areas such as clinical trials, chronic disease management, hospital operations, ophthalmology, femtech, and surgical automation. We onboarded these startups for Zero BS Healthcare Revenue Scaler program that started in February this year. During the program, startups connected with various subject matter experts, prospective customers, go-to-market partners for an efficient scaling opportunity. When you have an impressive lineup of startups, you definitely need an equally impressive jury. And we are extremely privileged to have some really seasoned experts from the investment and healthcare sectors joining us today. They are going to evaluate startup pitches, ask some interesting questions, share feedback, and offer guidance to the founders. Jury members, I would request you to do a very quick, probably 30 seconds intro so that we can learn a bit about you and then we can dive into the startup pitches. If I may start with Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks so much for letting me join. Yeah, my name is Laura. I'm the founder and director of BioHorizon Consulting, which is based in Singapore. And so I'm a trained PhD by myself in biochemistry. But along that way, I was actually more interested in how good science become commercial products and in the end, big businesses. And that let me move into having my own consulting company where we work with startups and investors on commercial strategy, clinical strategy, but also fundraising strategy. And I'm very excited to meet new startups in the life science sector and hope I can help with giving some input.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Laura. Appreciate your time today. Mimi, may I request you to go next, please?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Prakash. So my name is Mimi Sredom. Hello, everybody. Looking forward to today's discussion. I am a principal for Global Ventures, which is the impact venture arm for Save the Children. I just joined as an operator, venture builder / investor with about 20 years of experience in the healthcare sector across various verticals, figuring out that exact nexus. How do you actually take innovation and make it commercially viable and successful? I bring with me several years of experience working in blue chip large organizations, including Deutsche Bank as an investment banker, IQVIO, IMS Health as a strategy consultant, Johnson & Johnson, Reckitt Benckiser, DaVita International, all big firms, and then also have a slate of startups in healthcare that I advise, and also have also done 2 years as a CFO and Hummingbird Bioscience as a startup, getting them through Series B, Series C fundraising, as well as IPO readiness. So really excited, looking forward to today.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Mimi. Appreciate your time. I would request all the jury members to add jury with their name or rename themselves so that it's easy to understand who the jury members are for the founders. May I request Uday to go next, please? Uday?
Hi, Pankaj. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sure. Hi. My name is Uday. I am serving as a partner at Adventure Capital, focusing on pre-seed and seed healthcare, biotech, and longevity startups, investing globally. Over the years, I have been investing into the startups in the sectors like fintech, AI, sustainability. So leveraging those experiences of mentoring and seeing the innovations around, would love to connect and see the innovations over here and the founders, to connect with the founders. Yeah.
Really appreciate your time today, Uday. Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Mikolai, could you please go next? I think Mikolai is yeah. Go ahead, Mikolai.
Yes. Hello, hi. My name is Mikolai, and I currently work as an associate at Aegis Capital and Aligo Venture Capital Fund. These funds come from Poland, Aligo VC is currently a fully exited fund focusing solely on managing its portfolio companies. We have successfully led several exit and fundraising rounds, not only in our main country, but in a broader context. We also help startup to save additional benefits from accelerators like Techstars from United States. The second fund, Aegis Capital right now, is an active fund. Aegis focuses 80% of our portfolio on sectors such as medtech, biotech, and longevity in the broadest sense. However, we are open to opportunistic projects as well, but it's just maximum 20% of our portfolio. So additionally, we are a Polish fund and invest as either a lead or minority investor, especially in CE and Europe.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Nikolai. I appreciate your time today. Nick, could you please go next?
Hi guys, honored to join today's session. I'm Nick Ko, based in Hong Kong. I've got 25 years experience both in public and private markets as a portfolio manager, hedge fund manager. I'm currently with VE Venture Partners as a venture partner. It's a multi-stage generalist fund, although I've invested in several diagnostic, medtech and telehealth companies. Over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Again, I request all the jury members to listen to the startup pitches. You will hear 4 minutes long startup pitches. We have pre-recorded a 4 minutes long video pitch, and you will be hearing that. After that, you will have 2 minutes to ask questions. If you want to ask more questions, please feel free to use chat section. And obviously, you will have a lot of time after the session to fill out the scoring form. Again, we are looking for a lot of interesting insights and questions from your side. And if you have any additional thoughts for the startups, you can always use the chat section, or we can prepare the separate one-on-one introduction for you to take it forward. Now let's dive into the startup pitches and see how these startups are shaping the future of healthcare innovation. We are going to start with the first presentation, which is Markable from Israel, which offers a hormonal insight tracker for women's health. And we are going in a second.
Picture this. You're in your mid-30s, sharp, ambitious, at the top of your game, absolutely crushing it at work. You're the go-to guy that everyone relies on. Then, one day, you wake up feeling off. You walk into the boardroom that you used to own, and suddenly you second-guess yourself. You feel like your edge is gone. Your heart starts racing out of nowhere. You go to the doctor, labs are fine. A cardiologist finds nothing, still writes you beta blockers just in case. A third doctor would say, this is simply aging. That is not a man's story. That is perimenopause. Perimenopause is a highly volatile transition lasting up to 15 years with a median of 23 symptoms out of a possible 100, and it can start as early as at age 35. And still, the medical system managed this entire decade with short visits and single blood tests that look perfectly normal, while women are actually going through a physiological storm. Over the last 24 months, this market exploded. Celebrities broke the taboo, pharma launched billion-dollar drugs, and employers are paying. BCG projects $40 billion by 2030. And still, only 5% of women receive the one proven treatment. Hormone replacement therapy not only relieves symptoms, but dramatically cuts the future risk for heart disease, osteoporosis, and Alzheimer's. And from the few women who actually start HRT, nearly half of them will quit within a year. Why do they quit? Because doctors are working blind. Standard labs swing wildly within the same 24 hours, and 80% of OBGYN residency actually skip menopause entirely. Without a baseline, treatment side effects often hit before the relief, so women lose trust and abandon the only therapy proven to protect them. Blood pressure has a cuff. Diabetes has hemoglobin A1C. And menopause just have the question, how do you feel? This is why we built Markable. Using a standard smartphone, our 7-minute test captures 5 signal layers that no lab can read. Facial patterns, hearing, vision, cognition, and structured symptoms mapping. Our patent-pending fusion model translates those signals into one structured hormonal profile, and intake establishes a baseline. Continuous monitoring shows what changed. Providers get objective data, and women sees their progress, giving them a reason to actually stay in the treatment. And the data is clear. Across the 254 women we profiled, our validation subset reached an AUC of 0.87, successfully separating perimenopausal from non-perimenopausal women just using our test, and with age being insignificant. To build this, our team brings together 5 disciplines. I'm Revital, the co-founder and CEO. I bring 15 years of commercial execution and brand leadership at global corporates like Unilever and Kimberly-Clark. Danny, our CPO, holds a PhD in medical science and brings a decade of health tech experience to drive our product logic. Our CTO, Michael Aluz, brings 15 years of leading teams in building high-scale, secure SaaS architecture. Our AI advisor, Shachal Fleischman, PhD, is a computer vision and deep learning expert with over 5,000 citations. As an ex-Amazon applied scientist and CTO of a deep learning startup acquired by Intel, he led the design of our visual AI engine. And our medical strategy is led by Dr. Rangold in OBGYN and Women's Health Department head at Clalit, keeping us grounded in real clinical needs. And the clinical execution is already underway. A health plan with 2.7 million members is advancing with us to clinical validation, while Israel's largest supplement company is exploring integration. Our vision is to become the standard screening test for every woman from age 35 and ultimately the engine that personalizes her hormonal therapy. From there, we will expand to manage autoimmune disease, osteoporosis, and other medical conditions deeply rooted in hormonal balances. The data set that we're willing to support this is truly unique and doesn't exist anywhere else. Together, we're raising $1.5 million on a SAFE. This round will fund the HMO clinical validation, expand our dataset to 500 longitudinal profiles, and position us for the seed round with prospective clinical proof. We built the product, filed the patent, and have brought a 2.7 million HMO to the table without raising a single dollar. Just imagine what we can do with yours. Look forward to taking your questions and seeing you later on the one-to-ones. Thank you.
Fantastic. We have Revital on the call to respond to your questions. Do you remember, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Ask questions. Dr. Laura, did you have a question? Oh, okay. Revital, please feel free to share a bit more that you may have missed to share during the presentation.
Sure, thinking. We have a lot more, of course, to share. Just to explain what women get and what clinics get. So again, for clinics today, it's a major issue to keep women on treatment because currently they have a real trouble to understand what is actually happening with the women. They have 10 minutes to get thorough intake. So that's where we step in. We give them very, very thorough information before the visits even start. So for the first time, they actually know all her symptoms and they get an objective map of where she is cognitively and with the biomarkers that we track. And again, for the woman, she knows that she's not being dismissed. She knows that the physician knows exactly what is she's going through, and it enables to start the conversation on how to give her better care and better results.
Thanks a lot, Revital. Appreciate additional information. Jury members, you may be seeing a poll on your screen, and actually everybody. Please feel free to respond to the poll that you may be seeing on your screen so that we can connect you with the founders depending on your interest or no interest, right? The next presentation is for Peptitech. It's an Italian startup developing advanced molecules, advanced compounds for glaucoma and other neurodegenerative diseases. And here we go in a moment. If you have more questions for Revital, for Markable, please use chat section so that she can respond there. Here we go with Peptitech presentation.
Hi everyone, this is Marco Feligioni. I'm the founder of Peptitech, a company focused on the development of a platform based on first-in-class drugs to contrast neurodegeneration. Our first therapeutic indication would be retinal diseases and specifically glaucoma. Glutamate excitotoxicity is one of the most persistent and unsolved problems in neuroscience. When glutamate is released in excess, neurons are dying and leading to several CNS diseases, including retinal diseases. Still today, there is no approved disease-modifying therapies that directly target this mechanism. For decades, NMDA receptors inhibitors show promising results in preclinical models, but failed in clinical trials because they block neurotransmission and cause severe side effects. We identified a new intracellular pathway responsible for presynaptic glutamate over-release, in which presynaptic NMDA receptors induced the interaction between JNK2 and syntaxin 1A that controls the toxic glutamate release. We designed and developed a novel cell-permeable peptide which is able to inhibit JNK2 syntaxin 1A interaction, restoring physiological glutamate release without affecting NMDA receptor physiology. Our first indication is retinal neuroprotection, especially glaucoma, in which retinal neurons are dying due to toxic glutamate release. Even today, with hypotonizer drugs, up to 40% of the patients still lose vision in one eye and 16 in both eyes. So there is no neuroprotective drugs on the market so far. Our discovery has been largely validated by our publications, cited by several authors. Our peptide is a potent selective neuroprotective agent that blocks presynaptic excitotoxic loop, and topical delivery is effective and protects cells from death. This positions it as a first-in-class combinatory therapy alongside current high-pressure lowering treatments. The global market of glaucoma and retinal diseases is very high, as well as millions of people that are affected by these diseases. With a total amount of around $700,000 of investment from grants and other investors, our platform has been de-risked in ophthalmology and CNS research, allowing us to identify three pillars on which we are working: ophthalmology application, CNS, and intraocular glutamate sensor as biomarkers. Regarding ophthalmology, we are now fundraising up to $800K to start the IND enabling studies and complete non-GMP and non-GLP studies, and EthAum will be part of this round. Then we will complete the preclinical phase and enter in clinical phase, in which we are clearly seeing two exit windows in phase clinical 1 and phase clinical 2 proof of concept. The total investment will be 8 to 9 million. PeptiTech is led by a consolidated scientific and VC-backed team with decades of experience in neuropharmacology, ophthalmology and drug development, and dedicated ophthalmology scientific board. Thank you very much, and I'm pleased to take questions.
Fantastic. Do you remember questions for Marco, founder of PeptiTech? You may be seeing poll on your screen. Please feel free to respond to that. Marco, anything that you want to mention beyond the pitch?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really sorry. I thought I couldn't see the speech on my screen, so that's why I was telling you. Yeah, actually, we are very happy to be here and listen to the jury comments and advices. And as I said in our pitch, we are working on the ophthalmology as a first indication, and we are fundraising in this moment. So yeah, no more than that. So,
Mikolai, did you have a question?
Yes, I saw at the presentation 7,100 raise. I think is incredibly lean for a biopharma company. What specific regulatory or clinical milestone will this capital realistically breach to you and company?
Actually, 700 is to the risk, the first part of the preclinical trials. For the entire preclinical trial, we have a budget plan of 3 million euros, which allow us to get to the IND, to get to IND filing. For the investigation brochure of our new compound. What we are basically completing with 700 is going to be non-GMP and GLP studies. So non-GMP and non-GLP studies in animal and PK, PTOX, and PPD, toxicology and PK and formulation. So no GMP, no GLP.
Mimi, I think you have a question. Thank you, Nikolai.
I do, yes, thank you. Marco, I appreciate it's pretty early still in development, but can I also ask just thoughts on treatment duration, or when you would prescribe it to a patient, how long would they typically use it given it's meant to be protective?
Actually, so what we saw in our preclinical data in mouse models, and we actually published a paper very recently in Nature Group. So we saw that we need 1 drop per day every day.
So it's basically lifelong use.
Yeah, it's lifelong use.
Okay.
Thank you. Uday, please.
So basically, it would be kind of a therapy that we will combine with the actual therapy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Uday, please feel free to ask question.
Yeah, I just wanted to understand on the pricing and the reimbursement strategies, and how does it compare to the cell approaches?
So can you repeat?
Yeah.
Please be a bit louder there.
Sure. So if you can just share me the pricing and the reimbursement strategy, and how does it compare to the cell approaches?
So basically the reimbursement would be, let's say, a typical reimbursement for drugs in the market. Let's say it's like eye drops, so it's going to be like normal eye drops, so nothing complicated as cell therapy or whatever. And the selling would be potentially through hospitals and other maybe pharmacy as well. So we have a large hospital in India that is very interested in, for example, in doing the clinical trials and potentially be one of the sellers in the future. So it's a large clinical hospital with several clinics worldwide.
I think it's too early to talk about the pricing at the moment.
Yeah. The pricing is very early.
Thanks a lot for the question. Really appreciate it. Again, thanks a lot, jury members and audience, for listening to the presentation. Please use chat section if you have more questions. The next presentation is Belon Technology, which offers medical grade FDA approved wearable solution for sleep test. And here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Lydia, CEO and co-founder of Belon Technology. Today, we'd like to share our journey from sleep diagnostic to building the continual preventive healthcare platform. How is your sleep last night? Good, fair, or you are not sure? Sleep disorder is a hidden driver of chronic disease, including cardiovascular related like hypertension, stroke, and even diabetes and dementia. Unfortunately, 80% of sleep disorder patients remain undiagnosed. Sleep test is still done in hospital for 1 night. This model limits access, miss longitudinal physiological insights. Despite a strong correlation between sleep and chronic disease, modern healthcare still focuses mainly on wake time data, leaving sleep time physiologies largely untapped. Belon closed this national data gap by enabling continuous overnight monitoring and transforming sleep data into health intelligence. We are starting with the 9 billion sleep apnea diagnostic market, But the larger opportunities lies in the longitudinal health data generated through continuous sleep monitoring. This position belongs to expand into treatment optimization, early chronic disease detection, and preventive healthcare, addressing a 50 billion market opportunity. Belong's FDA-cleared sleep diagnostic platform has been deployed nationwide in the US, with reimbursement supported through CPT code and Medicaid. Most home sleep testing devices are either clinically accurate but difficult to scale longitudinally or consumer-friendly without diagnostic value. Belong bridge both worlds. We deliver medical-grade diagnostic in a highly variable form factors, optimized for continual multi-night monitoring. Our platform combines our proprietary wearable hardware and AI stack, protected by more than 20 granted international patents. The platform delivers clinical-grade accuracy with established reimbursement pathway, enabling providers to scale sleep diagnostic efficiently and cost-effectively. Our comfortable, easy-to-use design also enables longitudinal data collection from patients with different comorbidities, creating a strong foundation for early risk detection and preventive healthcare application. Belong platform is already integrated into EHR system and embedded into provider workflows across both diagnosis and treatment. In dental sleep medicine, our workflow has helped reduce treatment timeline from 4 months to 4 weeks, an approach recognized by the AADSM Clinical Research Award and increasingly adopted by dental providers. Built on this clinical, technical, and workflow foundation, Belong is ready to drive broader adoption and expand into decentralized chronic disease management and preventive healthcare. Since 2023, Belong has expanded nationwide across the US with deployment in more than 400 clinics, delivering 300% revenue growth, 90% retention rate, and 66% recurring revenue. Internationally, we have secured regulatory approval in 6 countries and regions and is building strong commercial traction across both the US and Southeast Asia. We are expanding from reimbursable sleep apnea diagnosis into longitudinal health intelligence for chronic disease management, including neurodegenerative, cardiovascular, diabetes, mental health, and gastrointestinal. Our growing longitudinal data set enables the development of AI model for early cardiometabolic risk detection using sleep and autonomic data. We are raising 10 million to scale our platform for longitudinal physiological intelligence, accelerate predictive and preventive healthcare, and capture a 50 billion market opportunity. Sleep is the gateway to continuous physiological intelligence. Join us in building the future together.
Fantastic. Lydia is traveling to the Bay Area, but she's very much willing to respond to your questions from airport. So, dear members, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions to Lydia. Anybody?
Hi, Lydia. Could you expand a bit more on your traction in terms of number of devices deployed? Also, just in terms of the competitive landscape as well, and remember ResMed acquired VirtuOx, and could you expand how you're different to other at-home sleep testing devices? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Nick, for the question. Currently, our traction is that we start deploying the system in the US since 2023, and currently we can be reimbursed through the CPT code and also Medicare in the US. And last year we have provided more than 100,000 tests in more than 400 clinics in the US already, without even a local staff in the US. And that's why with this traction, we are looking forward to hire locals such that we can ramp up our growth even faster, because in the past 3 years, our revenues has grown for 3 times already in the US. Yeah. And to differentiate with the others, we are very focused on medical variable and AI, because we believe the data combining our sleep data together with other medical record and history will be able to further build AI for the early risk detection. And very different from consumer products, you are not sure whether the demographic information are correct or not. But ours, because we are from clinics, from hospital, together with medical history, that's how we can help for the holistic and decentralized chronic disease management.
Thank you, Lydia. Nick, did that answer your question? Any additional question from your side? Okay, sounds good. Anything else for Lydia before we move on to the next presentation?
No, we are looking not only for investment, but also partners who are interested in longevity, to integrating sleep and stress into their platform, and also for chronic disease management.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Lydia. And as I mentioned earlier, she's traveling to the US for closing her round, and that's what keeps her busy at the moment. But yeah, thanks a lot, Lydia. The next presentation is Fennec Medical, which offers orthopedic AI surgical assistant to enhance implant stability and bone integrity. And here we go.
Hello, I'm Nadav Cohen, CEO of Fennec Medical. We're developing an AI co-pilot for orthopedic surgeries. Fennec is targeting the three massive pillars of orthopedics: hip, knee, and spine. We imagine surgeries as a delicate art, but in orthopedics, the reality is much more intense. To fix an implant into a human bone, surgeons push away all sophisticated technologies and they pick up a hammer and start hammering away. It's a high-energy striking process, and as a result, sometimes bones fracture. Surgeons navigate this fine line relying entirely on subjective feel. They listen to the sound of the hammer and they feel the resistance in their hand. That's pretty much their only gauge. In hip replacement procedures, for inexperienced surgeons, mechanical failure rate can reach up to 20%. These aren't minor issues. We're talking about intraoperative bone fractures, implant loosening, and more, leading to extended hospital stays, complicated revisions, and the immense physical toll on patient. Hip mechanical failure alone costs the healthcare system $2 billion annually. Fennec Medical solves this by replacing subjective feel with objective deterministic data, with detection of near fracture conditions and decision support. We're turning this high-risk art into a predictable science. Based on our team's deep knowledge in vibration, sensing, fracture mechanics, we succeeded where others failed for decades. Our solution is the Fennec Assistant, an AI co-pilot. The system provides real-time detection of near fracture conditions and continuous decision support on how implant insertion is progressing. So how do we do it? The Fennec Assistant is powered by the EchoStem. It's a wireless disposable unit that attaches directly to the surgeon's existing tools, such as a handle or impactor. The EchoStem literally listens via sensors to the bone implant interactions. Crucially, it does not alter the surgeon's workflow. And this enables surgeons to decide confidently on how to proceed and exactly when to stop. We replace the fracture anxiety with clinical certainty, while simultaneously we create a proprietary data set that becomes larger with every surgery. We're partnering with leading surgeons and local distributors to champion our market entry. With MOUs already in place, we're kicking off hospital pilots in 2028, establishing a beachhead in the US and FDA countries first before expanding to the EU. We're leveraging non-diluted IIA matching grants to secure FDA approval by 2028 and to launch commercial sales by 2029. Ultimately, this is a 3.5-year, $8 million path to market. Our team consists of experts in vibrations, real-time AI algorithms, and leading doctors. Our advisors are leading KOLs and experts in the surgical space, fracture mechanics, and business. In 10 years, AI and robotics will drive orthopedic surgery. But for that future to exist, robots need senses, just like humans do. Fennec is the missing link. Our solution is set to assist surgeons of today and is set to enable the robots of tomorrow. Thank you for listening. We are Fennec Medical.
Fantastic. Jury members, we have Nadav on the call to respond to your questions. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Now, feel free to provide additional information while jury members are thinking about their question.
Sure, yeah. So we are a medical device of, we like to see ourselves as the next generation of orthopedic solutions in surgery. It's a low risk agentic device with a short time to market, and looking to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, Dr. Laura, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I have a question. So regarding the application of that device, what are you thinking in regard of spine surgeries? Do you have any specific applications in mind, and also for the knee surgeries? Because it's a very broad field, how do you adjust different diseases or stages and age of patients?
Okay, so first of all, our initial market is hip replacement surgery market. But our technology can be, in some sorts, cut and pasted into any other field where we implant into a bone. So, with regard to spine, it's more in the direction of helping in the pedicle stage, and to make sure that the screws do not create excess excess stress, or penetrate the bone, the cortical bone. But we are starting from hip, and although we are working on patents in spine, it will only be in 2 years that we approach that market.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Laura. Thanks a lot,
Nadav. There was another question of Dr. Zimmerman about the age of the patient, so maybe you can comment on that.
Oh, I missed that question. Yeah, so today, classically it was for old people, but nowadays, with the success of the technology of the surgery, younger and younger people undergo hip replacement surgeries. So in general, it's a more older age people, but it's expanding into younger and younger patients.
Thank you. Dr. Laura, did you have any additional question? I think you raised your hand. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I have an additional question. So you haven't really clarified if it's for older or for younger.
It's to support doctors, surgeons during a total hip arthroplasty for any surgery in that space. You're muted, Dr. Laura.
Sorry, how do you train your model? Because you would start on a preclinical basis, and then if you're gonna do surgeries on younger patients compared to older patients, you would work with different bone densities. How would you address these biological changes in different patient groups, also in regard of size of the bone?
So that's a very good insight. That's part of our special sauce in our algorithm. Our models that we developed is what we call trend base, and we found the core characteristics that show up almost in any bone, whether it's synthetic, animal bone, young, sportive, hard bone, or osteoporotic old bones.
So we are monitoring trend, not absolute values, and that's the part of the unique invention. And the trend is the same for an athlete of 20 years and an osteoporotic lady at 80. The values are different, but the trend is the same.
Thanks a lot, Nir and Nadav. I think we'll have to have the side conversation. Vikram, did you have a question? Please unmute yourself quickly.
Yeah, just a follow-up on Dr. Laura's. More often than not, even just not with age itself, a lot of times every single human body is very much different than the other, even while being in the same age group. How would you address the differences that actually come? And because since it's an agentic AI, very much times it may lead the doctor in a relatively in a path that is not very suitable for the surgery.
Did you hear the question, Nadav, Nir? You're on mute, Nadav.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
So the question was that the type of bones are different in different people. So how do you sort of go from one type of bone to another?
Yeah, so again, this is part of what's so special about our algorithm. Our algorithms has been validated across many, many types of bones, and it is a trend-based algorithm. Also, the basic mechanics of fracture is similar in any bone, and we know how we know how the different indications show up in different bones.
Okay, so I think this requires a separate conversation to really get into what the proprietary tech is and how it is being done by Fennec. We'll have to move on to the next presentation now, which is Patientory. Patientory offers health data wallet, incentivizing individuals to make healthy choices. And here we go.
Good morning. I'm Krista McFarland, founder and CEO of Patientory. Imagine a health insurer trying to understand the complete health profile of a member. Today, that requires integrating data across providers, claim systems, pharmacies, wearables, and third-party vendors. It's expensive, slow, and still produces incomplete information. Patientory solves this problem as the AI infrastructure layer for healthcare. Healthcare will run on AI, but AI is only as powerful as the data feeding it. Patientory provides a trusted, patient-authorized source of health intelligence that gives payers a complete longitudinal view of member health. Healthcare data fragmentation costs payers between $200 and $300 billion annually through duplicate testing, medication non-adherence, delayed diagnosis, and poor chronic disease management. The problem isn't data scarcity. The problem is fragmented infrastructure. Patientory becomes the starting point for an individual's health information. We aggregate multi-source health data into one intelligence layer that helps payers make better decisions. We are not another healthcare application. We are infrastructure. Using FHIR interoperability, blockchain consent management, enterprise security, and AI-driven analytics, we dramatically reduce the cost and complexity of assembling comprehensive member health data. As more members' data enter the platform, our AI becomes smarter. Patients receive personalized care plans and incentives, while payers gain visibility into risk, care gaps, and population health opportunities. We operate an enterprise SaaS model. Health plans and self-insured employers pay recurring per member per month fees through annual contracts ranging from $100,000 to over $2 million. Our success is directly tied to lowering healthcare costs and improving outcomes. While competitors focus on records, engagements, or analytics separately, Patientory combines all three. We provide patient-controlled data access, AI-powered insights, and incentive-driven engagement in one platform designed to generate measurable ROI. We land through pilots, expand into enterprise deployments, and ultimately become embedded infrastructure. This creates multi-year contracts, recurring revenue, and high switching costs. The market is moving rapidly toward interoperability, AI adoption, and value-based care. Health plans are no longer looking for another wellness app. They are looking for infrastructure that powers AI and delivers financial outcomes. We received over $250,000 in investments each from both AWS and Google Cloud. Our results demonstrate value across health payers like Blue Cross Blue Shield and CMS. Care GLP achieved a 22% improvement in medication adherence and an 18% reduction in obesity-related risk markers. These outcomes translate directly into lower costs and better member engagement. I'm a World Economic Forum tech pioneer, and our team advisors bring deep expertise across healthcare, interoperability, insurance, AI, commercialization, and global expansion. Combined, our ecosystem provides strategic access to payers, employers, providers, and international markets across the US, South Korea, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia Pacific. Healthcare infrastructure businesses scale efficiently. As more payers adopt Patientory as their intelligence layer, revenue compounds through recurring contracts and expanded covered lives. We've already established a Korean entity, advanced insurer partnerships, completed localization, and gained traction through programs such as the government-backed Korea Startup Grant Challenge and insurer engagements, which include DB Insurance and in the U.S. Blue Cross Blue Shield. The expansion is already underway in both the U.S. and Korea. We're raising a $5 million seed to accelerate insurer deployments in the US and South Korea, expand AI-powered chronic disease risk modeling, and convert pilots into long-term commercial contracts. We are backed by more than $1.5 million in pre-seed funding from investors like Blue Cross Blue Shield Massachusetts, RGA Ventures, and Backstage Capital. Healthcare's future will be powered by AI, but AI requires trusted infrastructure. Patientory is building the patient-authorized health intelligence layer that connects fragmented health data, enables better decisions, and improve outcomes while lowering costs. Patientory isn't another healthcare application. We're the AI infrastructure layer powering the future of healthcare. Thank you.
Fantastic. This was a quick pitch from Patientory. Unfortunately, Krista could not join the conversation for Q&A, but you may be seeing Paul on your screen. Please respond to that. If there are questions for Patientory for Krista, please feel free to type them in the chat section, and we'll make sure that Krista connects with you later to respond to those questions. Next presentation is SciOctus AI, which prevents revenue loss for hospitals from coding and documentation error. And here we go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Varman with SciOctus AI. SciOctus AI is addressing a large, growing global problem in healthcare: billing optimization and denial reduction. This is a roughly $500 billion problem in the US and over $1 trillion problem globally. Providers already did the work, documented the care, and delivered the treatment, but too often revenue is lost before the claim ever goes out. In the US, roughly $475 billion in claims are denied every year. Over 80% are considered avoidable, fewer than 65% are reworked, and providers spend more than $25 billion annually processing and fighting denials. This is not just a billing issue, it is a massive healthcare infrastructure problem. To solve this, hospitals need three things: a clinically aligned approach, an AI solution that gets both the documentation and claim right, and a business model tied to outcomes. Billing Assist is built around exactly that. It reads the chart, finds revenue gaps, recommends CPT, ICD, HCPS modifiers and billable opportunities, then validates the claim before billing. Early customers and pilot feedback show meaningful impact: $1.2 million in annualized revenue opportunity, reduced documentation-related denials, saved weekly review time, and improved pre-bill turnaround. The pattern is clear: earlier intervention, cleaner claims, and stronger ROI. Our team is built for this problem. As mentioned prior, I'm Dr. Varman, a practicing physician with over a decade experience in healthcare, and I have seen firsthand how billing friction affects providers and systems. My co-founder, Sid Bose, brings 15 plus years in technology, AI, and products across the US and 4 other countries. We are supported by advisors from UNC and Queen Victoria Hospital. We also have a strong key advisor from a recently exited large RCM startup. Our model is outcome-based. Customers use Billing Assist before submission. We help uncover validated revenue opportunities, and SciOctus earns a share of incremental revenue captured. That lowers upfront customer risk and aligns incentives. We win when providers recover more revenue. We have multiple early customers using the platform, active enterprise prospects, qualified leads, proposals and discussions, and accounts and compliance review. Through VitalOrder, we also gain channels into hospitals across US, UK, and Asia. Competitors prove the market is real. SmarterDX showed the value of pre-bill revenue capture and exited in roughly 3 years. Codematrix focuses on coding automation. SciOctus is the only one at this time that combines AI chart review, missed revenue capture, and pre-bill denial prevention all in one workflow. Hospitals should not have to choose between finding revenue and protecting it. We are raising a $1.5 million safe, up to $2 million with strategic investors. This round helps us expand deployments, support the large enterprise client deployment in pipeline, and build seed-ready traction. Pre-bill revenue intelligence has already produced venture scale outcomes. Cyoctus AI gives strategic investors early exposure to the next wave of AI-driven revenue integrity for hospitals. Healthcare already did the work. Cyoctus helps make sure they get paid for it. Thank you for listening, and feel free to connect with us. Either send us an email or scan the QR code shown. Thank you again.
Fantastic. We have Sid and Dr. Verman on the call to respond to your questions. Jury members, please unmute yourself. Sid, while jury members are thinking about the question, you may jump in and provide additional information. Yeah, Dr. Laura.
Oh, I see we have a question here.
Yeah, I have a question. So maybe you can share a little bit more about your customers. How do they look like, and why would they renew?
Sure. So one of the things, our strongest customers are typically enterprise. The main ones that we've been seeing value early on has been in the US. One of the reasons they return is we do have an outcome-based model. So what we make is purely tied to what additional revenue we save them. We're typically at this time finding that per every 10,000 discharges from a hospital, there's roughly 2 to 3 million in revenue that was never captured because certain diagnoses were not reported in the charting, despite those diagnoses being present in the patients and being managed by hospital staff often. Common examples include acute kidney injury, sepsis, malnutrition, sometimes even obesity, based off their BMI. These are very objective diagnoses that exist with the patient but were never captured, and so that typically is why they return. It's low risk for them because it's a purely revenue share model that we only earn when the hospitals earn too.
Thank you, Dr. Verman. Any additional question or comment? Okay.
Yes, Pankaj, I have one.
Sorry, go ahead, please, Uday.
Yeah, so the product is used before claim submission or after claim submission, or both?
Yes, good question. So the entire core of the product is before claim submission is ever built. There's other companies that do billing and AI billing. The unique part of this is all pre-bill. So we use clinical intelligence to read through charts, to read through labs, to read through all components of the chart, almost like it's a separate clinician from another hospital that's reviewing the chart. And it surfaces diagnoses that were not captured, surfaces details in complex notes and labs that were missing before the bill is submitted. So it's an extra layer for hospitals to check that what they're missing. And then if they decide to accept changes that we're suggesting to them, that's part of the revenue lift that we discussed with them is what we provide.
Yeah, thanks. And the last one is like, what level of human review is still required before submission, code submission?
Yes, great question. We do have clinicians heavily in the loop type of model. It's not purely autonomous, so we have clinicians on our team who are reviewing it. And I'll let Sid discuss on that from the tech perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Uday. And that's a very important moat also what we have, because our models have been trained through the feedback we get from clinicians. We call it RLCF, reinforced learning through clinician feedback. So we constantly update the models. We constantly ensure that the feedback we get from the billing team, from the doctors, that goes into the model. So we are increasing the accuracy for different specialties day by day as we receive more more and more feedback, and we constantly update that. Yeah, so it is completely autonomous. At the same time, we ensure that a clinician always reviews a sample of what we recommend to our to the hospitals.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ed.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, all the jury members, for asking questions. And thanks to Sid and Dr. Verman. The next presentation is by Saeed, who is the CEO and founder of Dragonflow. Dragonflow is an Israeli company which converts clinical trial protocol into automated interactive point of care workflows. And here we go.
Dragonflow is building the operating system for protocol execution. We transform clinical protocols from static documents that people read into deterministic workflow that actually run. By guiding investigators step by step in real time, we reduce errors, lower operational costs, and accelerate time to revenues. Clinical trial execution is still highly manual. Site teams rely on PDFs, checklists, notebooks, calculators, and disconnected systems, while managing increasingly complex protocols. This creates deviations, delays, rework, and operational risk. In phase 3 trials alone, delays can cost sponsors millions of dollars per day. While EDC and CTMS systems manage clinical data, they don't manage protocol execution during participant visits, leaving live execution fragmented, inconsistent, and error-prone. Our approach is simple: make protocols executable. Dragonflow transforms static protocols into interactive, automated workflows across all devices. The platform guides investigators at the point of care by automating calculation, decision trees, and compliance checks. Instead of catching errors later, Dragonflow prevents deviations in real time while automatically generating an audit-ready trail. Dragonflow blends AI automation with human oversight. Our AI extracts complex protocol text into logical pathways, while human experts validate and approve the logic before deployment. This ensures a safe, compliant, and fully execution workflow that guides site teams in real time. Dragonflow already demonstrated meaningful impact in real clinical environment. In a phase 3 myelofibrosis study with the Vienna-based CRO, Dragonflow cuts a standard 40 minutes workflow down to 9 minutes, a 77% reduction. Across a typical phase 3 trial, the platform drives an estimated 19% in savings, and doing so by accelerating recruitment, eliminating rework, and preventing discrepancies. We already achieved early commercial validation through successful deployment with the said CRO from Vienna, and also by securing our first paying customer, Polar Therapeutics from Switzerland. Together, these milestones validate both market demand and willingness to pay. Clinical trials represent a massive global market with billions spent on execution and compliance. Dragonflow captured this multi-billion-dollar opportunity by eliminating protocol inefficiencies and reducing data integrity costs to unlock significant industry savings. Our business model is simple and scalable: annual per-trial licensing, setup fees, and optional professional services. A typical trial generates about $350,000 over 2 years, creating strong recurring revenue potential. Our vision is to make Dragonflow the operating system for protocol execution. Over the next 3 years, we plan to scale across the US and Europe, integrate with leading clinical platforms, and expand into broader clinical execution markets. Our team combines deep clinical research expertise with decades of enterprise technology experience. The founders have worked together for over 20 years building scalable systems that address real operational challenge in healthcare. Join us in building the opportunity and the operating system for protocol execution. Thank you.
Fantastic. We have Sarid on the call, and you may be seeing poll on your screen. Jury members, please feel free to unmute yourself. Sarid, you can provide additional info while jury members are preparing the question.
Yeah, I think that through the use of our platform, we can show to any sponsor a high level of ROI when we are looking at faster enrollments, in fewer protocol deviations, in reduced monitoring efforts, lower query rates, and faster onboarding, and overall with reduced rework. And that's something that we've already started to do with the deployment that we had in Vienna. And now with our first commercial agreement, which is taking place with Polaroid Therapeutics in 3 sites in Switzerland and another site with the University of Hull in the UK. So that's where we are at, gathering more data and continue the journey.
Fantastic. Let's take question from Mimi. Mimi, please.
Thank you. Sorry, just a question on pricing or who pays for Dragonflow. Is it the clinical trial sponsors or the actual medical site?
Well, overall, the sponsor is paying for the whole project. Having said that, we are targeting sponsors, obviously, but also CROs and sites. Each party, sites, CROs, and sponsor has their own benefit of using Dragonflow, and as such, we created a pricing scheme for each one of them.
And can you do it, sorry, just add-on question, can you do it for global clinical trials, so multi-sites and say, multi-linguistic?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Multilinguistic and multi-sites. Absolutely. That's our intention. And that's the purpose, by basically unifying all the sites with one workflow that allows minimal deviation, minimal errors, and minimal rework, of course. That's exactly what we're intending to do.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. Dr. Laura, please.
Yeah, just one add-on question. Maybe you can clarify, how do you incorporate different sites and different systems? How would you address that, these two parameters?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when we're talking about different sites, they are all working on one protocol and one standard protocol that is being dictated through the CRO and by the sponsor. And by using Dragonflow's platform, we basically create one unified workflow that allows all the multi-sites to work in a unified manner. So that is basically how we reduce different modification and change and errors throughout the process.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarit, for responding to questions. Jury members and audience, please respond to the poll. And if you have more questions, comments, please use chat section. The next presentation is by Nukt AI, which offers healthcare-focused agentic AI operating system for intelligent triage and care coordination. And here we go.
Hi, I am Sujit Rautrai, co-founder and CEO of Nukt AI. We are a deep tech AI company headquartered in Dubai's DIFC Innovation Hub, accredited with the Dubai AI license. We are building clinical-grade AI models and agentic systems for healthcare, addressing a $194 billion global healthcare AI market where autonomous intelligence is no longer a nice-to-have. It is urgently needed. Do you know 30% of patient care drops because of improper triaging? 20 to 30 minutes lost collecting foundational history. 80% of primary consultations are non-critical, yet they consume nearly half of every GP's time. Admin burden, fragmented data, and multilingual barriers further add to this. Current standalone AI models are not equipped to handle the clinical pathways and medical reasoning safely. We built Chikit to solve this from first principles. Chikit AI is a clinical-grade agentic AI platform that handles the full care journey, from multilingual trials at intake through workflow automation, all the way to longitudinal care coordination across hospitals, clinics, and home care. A patient can describe symptoms in their own language. Chikit AI triages accurately, remembers their history across every visit, and autonomously handles non-critical consults, freeing physicians to focus on the cases that truly need them. What makes this defensible is the technology we have built in-house. We developed Quantora, our own quantum-aware ML simulator, which delivers 96% clinical accuracy at 75% lower cost than classical LLMs. We built our own clinical-grade AI models, purpose-built for regulated healthcare. We are already in market. Founders funded from day one, we have reached $10,000 of monthly recurring revenue with 15% month-over-month growth rate. Users spend an average of 6 minutes per session, and our LTV to CAC ratio is already at 5 times. We are projecting $500,000 of revenue for this year, further scaling it to $50 million of revenue by 2030. We also just won the Eureka GCC 5th edition 2026, beating 500 plus startups from 57 countries backed by Gulf Islamic Investments and IIT Bombay. Our GTM is a snowball model. We enter through free POCs with hospitals and clinics. Once data portability and federated learning are embedded, we create deep network lock-in. GTM partners become ecosystem aggregators, pulling in adjacent use cases such as diagnostics, pharma, and home care. We monetize through 3 streams. SaaS subscription, which is at $260 ARPU per month, usage-based inference, and custom AI deployments at $39,000 average contract value, giving us a gross margin of 80% across the board. My co-founder Sumo and I each have 15 plus years in technology, AI, and scaling ventures. Our last company was a fintech in the GCC, still live and processing $15 million in logistics payments every month. Our Chief Research and Development Officer holds 9 US patents across quantum computing, AI, and blockchain. Behind us is a team of 20 plus AI engineers, researchers, and data scientists. This is a deep tech and execution mode that takes years to replicate. We are raising a $3 million of pre-series A to transform our current momentum into market leadership. Our $450,000 of founder seed has already built the core agentic OS, ran pilots, and delivered a working quantum prototype. This round goes aggressively to fund our GTM, accelerate our research and development of quantum pipelines, and scale the product for enterprise commercialization in SaaS model. Healthcare AI is moving fast. The window to build the infrastructure layer with clinical grade intelligence and real technology mode is right now. Join us in building it. Thank you.
Fantastic. We have Sujit on the call to respond to questions. Jury members, you may also see the poll on your screen. Sujit, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, Pankaj. Hi, everyone.
Anything additional that you want to add, Sujit?
Well, right now we are working with almost 25 plus pilots, so giving us a good product market fit. I think Memi has a question. Yeah.
It's right on topic, Sujit. So I was just curious, what's your target account, right, that you're hoping to unlock, or even geographies?
So right now we are focusing on GCC and India. Very recently we just started discussion with Southeast Asia. So this is the area, and up till now, this 25 plus deployments that I just mentioned about is in India and GCC, and it comprises of big hospitals, 2 smaller setup clinics. So we have a standard flow which caters to any small setups or individual doctors who are practicing, who doesn't have a HMS system. So for them, the flow itself, we have built in our intelligence into the flow, which directly gets deployed into that. That is what the SaaS model is. But for the larger hospitals, it requires a lot of customization to be integrated into their system, which is where we go with this custom deployment of, and they also have their own requirement of AI integrations. So that is what we take up for larger set of hospitals.
Yeah, long runway for adoption. Come talk to me when you guys are raising for Southeast Asia expansion.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi.
Thanks a lot, Mimi. Appreciate that kind gesture. If there are more questions for Nukt, please feel free to take them in the chat section. The next presentation is Health Pro, which offers AI workforce solution for efficient hospital operations and planning. They are based out of Indonesia, and we have Randy to present and answer questions later on.
Hi everyone, my name is Randy, co-founder and CEO of HealthPro, based in Indonesia. HealthPro is an end-to-end operating system for managing and scaling the healthcare workforce. Healthcare facilities face 3 recurring problems. First one, operations are still manual, spreadsheet, WhatsApp, even pen and paper. Second one, everything becomes last minute. Scheduling, replacement, compliance. Last but not least, admin workloads is heavy. So leaders lack of real-time visibility. The market is growing fast and workforce complexity is rising. Facilities need a system that can scale operation and make every shift auditable. This is no longer optional. So here we are, HealthPro is the one engine for end-to-end workforce operation. We are doing verification, assignment, SOP, and also reporting and audit trial. With HealthPro, facilities move from legacy spreadsheet to fully digital end-to-end workflow, from planning to execution and also reporting. We are B2B. Our client is healthcare facilities. They pay us monthly through our HR as service model. We charge 5 up to 10% workforce management fee from their payroll, 25 up to 40% flexible staffing transaction fee. Facilities get ROI through lower operating costs, more unlock capacity, and also reduce admin time for clinical leaders and also HR. Over the last 2 years, we have processed $1 million GMV with 2x year-on-year growth, 50 facilities with 6,000 shifts handled per month and 98% of them repeat rate. And also we have 12,000 verified workforce. We implementing workforce automation now. And next, we will add AI matching and also demand prediction. This is let us scale our shift volume and also revenue exponentially without adding headcount linearly. And last year, we found our AHA expansion. Using the same verified operation engine, we also can serve ESG/CSR focused enterprise and program that need compliance and outcome reporting, delivered as ESG as a service. Now, with the same HealthPro OS, we are expanding from healthcare facilities with HR as a service, and also now we have non-health enterprise with ESG program with ESG as a service. Our starting TAM in healthcare is $40 billion, and now it expands further as we expand to non-health enterprise with ESG program. We target 5% of SAM to reaching an annualized $100 million GMV in 5 years. The growth is balanced from between recurring HR as a service expansion, including we have LOI, and also growing enterprise ESG as a service pipeline. In total, we have $4 million more. We started with flexible healthcare staffing only. Now, with expansion into full HR as a service and additional ESG as a service, we are on track to reach $700,000 monthly GMV within 12 months. I lead scale and execution. Vika, my COO, she is a registered nurse, bring deep clinical operation expertise. With team of 10 across medical, tech, and also HR, we are built to execute and grow HealthPro. Now, to accelerate the growth, we are raising $700,000 seed round to reach $4 million annual GMV within 12 months. We will get there by increasing average shift price, executing new contract, and also increasing GMV per client. We have the traction, the technology, and also the team. So please join us in building the digital backbone of healthcare across Asia. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Mimi, please go ahead.
Thank you. Randy, just one quick question. What's the minimum size of a clinic or a healthcare provider practice for the pricing model to really start making sense for them from a price perspective?
Thank you, Mimi. So, do you asking about how many healthcare workers in
Correct.
one
Yeah,
facility?
let's name it in number of
Yeah.
FTEs or number of headcount.
Yeah. So, small clinic, they're starting have one or maximum 2 doctors, and then have 5 nurse in their clinic for small clinic. So mostly 5 up to 10 in one facilities. For big hospital, I think they are the smallest one. Minimum 50 healthcare workers in that work in the facilities. Content doctors, specialists, nurse, midwife also, and physiotherapists.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mimi. Any other question for Randy? You may be seeing Paul on your screen. Please respond to that. Anything additional that you want to share, Randy?
Yeah. Currently, I think this is something that interesting in our current growth is we already start helping NGOs also to convert their fund to be a real healthcare treatment. So we helping to manage their fund to be helping poor children, elderly population. So we already helping convert more than $200,000 last year, and this year the target is to up to $1 million. So if you are interested to join and help more than not only healthcare workers but also patients, so let's connect, and then I will share you more about healthcare. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Randy. Thanks all the startups for this interesting session. Now I have another responsibility, another ask to our jury members, and that ask is pretty simple. You have heard 9 presentations. If there are 1 or 2 presentations or 3 presentations that stood out from your perspective, could you please name them and the reason why these presentations stood out for you? I see Mimi on my screen, so I'll put her on spot. Maybe any 2 presentations, 3 presentations that stood out from your perspective, and why? I think you're on mute, or you want to take some time?
No, not at all. Look, I think all of the pitches were very professional. From what I have seen, just sticking to the time and calling out the key items. Nuked AI. I like the fact that you had financials in your deck. Just some tangibles in there for something that is easily a jargon topic. So well done. In terms of follow-up conversations, for me, it's PeptiTech, Health Pro. Would love to have a follow-up conversation with you guys. And then Dragonflow as well. Just coming from pharma, I know it's a huge pain point for clinical trial sponsors. So probably worth another dialogue, just given the size of the problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, fantastic. So PeptiTech, Dragonflow, and Health Pro stood out from your perspective, and you really liked how Nuked AI has presented the financials in their presentations. Thanks a lot for the feedback. Thanks a lot for the names of the startups that stood out from your perspective. May I request Dr. Laura to go next, please? Or any other jury member? Nick or Uday? Yeah, Uday, please go ahead.
Yeah, I like the Nuked AI presentation very much. I love to have a conversation. Actually, would love to have a conversation with all of the founders because I love the presentation. I love the idea, and we are currently expanding and deploying capital, so would love to have a conversation with. Additionally, Patient Tree stood out apart from me. Yeah, PeptiTech and Dragonflow Systems. Yeah.
Thank you there. So you mentioned Patient Tree, PeptiTech, and Dragonflow.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Uday. And we'll definitely connect you with the founders so that you can have follow-up conversation with these guys and see how you can work with them, or probably just to explore whether they fit into your thesis or not. Thanks a lot, Uday. Who wants to go next? Is Nick available? Okay. Anybody else who wants to chime in and talk about probably 1 or 2 startups that stood out from your perspective? I think that's it for today. Yeah. Again, thanks a lot, all the jury members, for joining in, for asking some interesting questions to these startups, and listening to the pitches and providing feedback. So I think we are definitely looking for side conversations, one-on-one conversations, where these startups can connect with you, get your perspective on their solution, on their go-to-market strategy, differentiation, their product roadmap, GTM roadmap, and so on and so forth. If there are opportunities where your fund may want to invest, or if you want to look into sell or product integration kind of opportunities between your portfolio startups and these startups, then we will also highly appreciate those additional conversation. It's not only the investment which is important, it is also the product integration and co-GTM opportunities with other complementary solution providers that are extremely important. So we really appreciate those kind of opportunities. Thanks to all the founders. Again, it may look easy to to see those 4 minutes long presentation, but it's extremely difficult. A lot of thoughts go into writing the pitch, writing the script, and recording these video presentations, and it never comes right in the first time. So they have to do multiple versions of it. But yeah, it's difficult to put all the right information in that 4 minute long presentation. I think founders have done a fantastic job. So thanks to the founders for this incredible presentation and session today. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time today. And let's reconnect. Let's explore more opportunities to collaborate, support each other, and make healthcare really affordable, accessible, and efficient for billions globally. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you
you,
all.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Pankaj.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.